Hi, I'm Sophie and welcome to my world. Today I'm super excited because I have my sister Freda with me today, who is an amazing crafter. And today we're going to actually be doing a craft that one of my clients requested. Now, she called me up and she had this party in mind and she said, I saw this amazing craft when I was in Hawaii. And what they had done was they had taken fabrics from the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes.
And placed them on trucker hats. And so we thought, well,
Let's do it.
Let's figure it out and do it. So Freda here was amazing and figured out exactly how to make it happen. So this is an example of the fabulous hat that we'll be making today. We're going to do a simplified version of it, right, Freda?
Right, this one is like decorated even after the fact, but yeah,
Exactly.
we're going to show you how to add the fabric.
Okie dokie. So this is a basic standard trucker hat.
Available at a craft store or online.
Yeah, you can get these at most craft stores, or you can get them online at Amazon
Or maybe
wherever.
you have an old one that you don't want anymore.
Exactly, and the fabric is going to cover it up, so if you've got a beat up one, perfect for this. Now, I went to the fabric store, and what I was able to purchase, I wasn't able to get Hawaiian shirts, of course, because I was in Hawaii, but I was able to purchase this amazing quilting fabric, and basically all it is it's a cotton-based fabric. It's thin. You don't want anything that's too thick, right?
You want it to be malleable.
Exactly. And so we're going to be using our scissors.
Yep.
We definitely need a Sharpie pen for this, right?
We do.
And we might or might not use our X-Acto knife.
Yeah, let's just have it handy.
It's always good to have it handy. And then we've got a template. Now, we've made a template.
Right, I think we could put this online. I
Yeah.
don't see why not. Yeah, because it would print out the same size as a trucker hat. I think that's pretty standard.
So we're going to put this template online at sophie-world.com. It'll be a PDF that you can download. It'll make it a lot easier for you than trying to size out one yourself. However, if you do, you can always take a piece of paper, fold it over, then fold it down, pull it off, and then you can kind of just cut around to get the shape. It's a little tricky though. I mean, we found that we had to work with it a while. Now, the most important thing for this project,
Right.
Mod Podge. Okay, and I'm saying it like that because the last time I did a Mod Podge project, I called it what we used to call it as kids. Remember, Mom and Dad always used to call
Mod
it
Podge.
Mod Podge. When we were growing up, our parents called it Mod Podge. But we got in trouble by a lot of people said it's Mod Podge. So we're pronouncing the right name, Mod Podge. And this is a special kind. It's a fabric Mod Podge.
Mod Podge, fabric, tissue, tela.
And that's the name of it.
Yes.
So you might just find fabric too, though.
It should be fine.
But it should be fine
It's
too.
a washable Mod Podge.
You can actually put this through the laundry, you said.
You can.
So if you use this on like an applique or something like that, you could put it on a T-shirt. You said, like if you
Yes,
took a piece of
you
paper-
can add patterns to a T-shirt or something like that. Yeah, but it's washable. So if you get your hat dirty, you can throw it in the laundry.
So this is made for
Fabric.
So that's the most important part. Okay, and we've also got a paper plate here.
Just as a work surface to not get Mod Podge all over the place.
And
Paintbrush.
great. Okay, so should we get started?
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, so first thing first, what do we do?
Trace the fabric.
Okay, so I think it'd be fun to do this.
You chose the loudest one.
Well, I am rather loud. So we're going to be doing a superhero hat. And we've got our template here.
Let's lay it down.
And so Freda's going to take the template and she's going to trace it around. Now, the one important thing here is when you see the template, it will have 2 slit marks. And those slit marks are important, aren't they?
Yes, we're going to slit it after we cut it all around.
Okay, super.
To help it form to the shape of the hat, since it's rounded.
Kind of looks like a little mountain.
Yeah.
And part of it is because of the rounding of the hat, you need to make sure that you can make flaps so that they fold over nicely. And what's really great about Mod Podge is that because of the kind of elasticity of it, it's going to be very flexible and you can fold things over on top of each other, and then by adding the Mod Podge over top, it seals it all together and really you won't even see any seams.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing stuff. So while you're doing that, I'm going to grab us a work surface for that. Is that okay?
This guy?
So I have a head over here, and I'm going to put that over here. Whoops, I put it right in the way as you're cutting there, huh? Sorry. You know, I'm going to clear away some of these fabrics. There's
All right.
there's some pretty fabrics out there.
Okay, so I've got that cut, and I'm going to cut the slits.
Okay.
There's just a little groove here. Cutting down here, cutting down here. Just maybe about a thumb. All right, you ready to get this Mod Podged?
Yeah, so what you gonna do?
Take it, put it on the paper plate. And I'm going to Mod Podge just the bottom part, not the little triangle flap at the top.
Okay, so you're gonna leave the flap undone.
For now, until I position it on the hat.
Okay.
So this stuff is a little different than Mod Podge. You don't want to water it down.
Okay.
And we're going all the way off
All the way off the edges?
the edges.
Okay.
Sometimes this cotton has a tendency to fray, but because you're putting this stuff on it, it's just sealing it right in place. It's not going to fray on you.
That's cool. So for my events and my parties, I love when my clients send me pictures and say, hey, do you think you could come up with ways to make this? Or, you know, give me different challenges of different things that they want for their party, because it keeps it exciting and keeps it new. And this was one of these things where when I told the crew, when I told the staff at a meeting, I was like, okay, so one of the things we need to do is figure out how to do these hats. Freda was like, I'll do it, I'll do it. And so she jumped right in on it, didn't you?
Yeah, and they ended up looking like $1 million when the kids were making them.
Yeah, and they were really good at the event. They turned out really cute.
So I'm just going to put this on here to help you see it.
Okay.
So now this part is still, I can handle it from up here. And take it and lay it on the hat.
Now, do you have to get worried about whether or not, like, if it like sticks to itself or anything like that, or does it peel?
No, it all ends up drying clear, so it's extremely forgiving.
Oh, great. And
So I'm just lining that right up there.
so you line up the brim. Is that the first thing that you do, or do you line up the sides first?
I
like
guess I
right
lined
here?
up the bottom first.
Okay.
Just make sure I can see over here.
And so you're kind of smoothing out the creases as you go along?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what if you end up with a little extra on the sides? Is that anything to worry about, or can you come
Actually,
back
when
and
it's
trim?
dry, you can totally trim it really easily.
Because does it dry pretty stiff, or how does it dry?
It does dry stiff.
Okay,
Stiffer, yeah.
Cool. So now if you're finding that it's not sticking, does that mean it needs more Mod Podge, do you think?
I'd stick it up under the edges a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if for people who are doing it, if they didn't quite get enough Mod Podge, or should they apply from the top, is what I'm asking.
I guess you can just tweak
Peel it up a
the
little bit?
brush in from the sides.
Got
yeah.
it. Okay. But you're putting it on the fabric, not on the hat itself.
Yes, but that is just my technique. I mean, if you wanted to mess around with it, you could probably do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've just found that was the easiest. That was the easiest that I found doing it.
Okay, so if you're doing more than one of these hats and you want to try that technique as well, which is painting the hat, you can
Yeah,
go ahead and do
let's
that.
try painting the hat.
Okay, so she's now going to be painting the hat. So basically she's putting on another layer of the Mod Podge.
Let's just connect this top piece. See, why we didn't do that before is this is just going to make it easier for positioning stuff than having one floppy sort of.
Well, and especially
sloppy
because that would have
piece.
been sticky all over your hands as you were trying to place it, right?
Right, right. So there we go. Now I don't think this is going to make a difference.
Oh, that's great.
There we go.
Okay, great. And then, so once you've got it placed in place like that, do you come back and paint over top of it, or do you let it dry?
So now you're going to let this dry for 2 hours.
Okay.
But for the sake of us showing you this now, we're just going to go ahead and put it on the front so that you can see how you would do that.
Okay.
So I'm just going to liberally apply the Mod Podge
All over.
all over, unwatered down.
And this would be after you've waited for 2 hours and it's nice and dry. Now, at the event that we did, what happened was it was a beautiful, bright, sunny day, and they actually dried in about half an hour.
Yeah.
But you'll know whether or not it's dry because you'll be able to feel whether it's still wet and tacky. It should be pretty
Solidly
pretty
dry.
solid. And we're going to jump ahead with one that we have over here that you'll be able to see. So that's great.
You're just going to coat that entire thing.
And then it should look something like this when it's all done.
Yep, so
Right?
this has a coating on the outside too. And it's still, you can tell, like flexible. But it's also, you know,
Yeah,
stiff.
it's got some goodness here.
Yeah.
So then the other thing that's kind of fun to do is if you want to, you can cut out little matching pieces. Like this one, we have the cute little owl. You can cut out the little matching pieces and you can actually paint a little bit of the Mod Podge on those and then use those as accents other places. So in this case, maybe we'll put that on the brim. What do you think?
I love to do that.
Okay.
Which side do you think?
I don't know, it's up to you. Ooh, that's cute. And she's just gonna lay that right down. And it just kind of gives you a little bit more
an
flair.
accent.
Yeah. Now the thing about this too is that once it's all dry, as you can see with the hat that Freda designed over there on that wig head, She went to town with some jewels and some trims, and she actually even covered the brim with more fabric. You can go as crazy as you want to with these hats. I mean, they're really, once they're done, the hot glue
Sky's the
gun
limit.
and you and whatever supplies you have around,
Yeah.
you can really make it go in any direction you want. You could even do them in a thematic kind of a thing.
Oh, that's actually a great idea, like for Halloween or something. You can dress up with your friends.
That'd be really fun.
Good idea.
For more great ideas that you can wear on your head, come and check us out at Sophie-World.
.com.